nuclear submarine went down. Your company has authorized the Navy's use of this facility for a rescue.
My people are not qualified for this.
You'll do absolutely nothing without direct orders from me.
There is something down there. Something not us. Not human.
Welcome to Screen Recaps, and today we are going to recapping the movie The Abyss. Near the Cayman Trough, the USS Montana submarine detects strange radar readings before losing power. The submarine shakes as the hydraulics fail, and despite switching to auxiliary power, it's too late. The Montana crashes into rocks, causing severe damage, triggering a fire, and water floods the vessel as it sinks deeper. A buoy is launched just before the submarine crashes on the seabed, drowning the entire crew. Shortly after, Dr. Lindsay and a Navy SEAL team arrive at an underwater drilling platform she designed, using it as a base to investigate the wreck. Platform workers are tasked with searching for survivors, and though skeptical, they agree after hearing about a big bonus. Foreman Virgil protests, believing the team is unqualified, but the SEALs provide reassurance. As the mission begins, a storm hits, and Lindsay, despite her tense relationship with ex-husband Virgil, insists on joining the mission. She pilots the SEALs down to the platform, warning the team about the dangers of depressurization. Inside, she inspects the platform, noting areas needing attention. Virgil follows Lindsay around, wondering if she came to argue with him again. Frustrated, he throws his wedding ring in the toilet but quickly retrieves it. Later, the teams gather to plan the submarine search. Coffee, a SEAL, asserts his authority when the oil workers joke around, and SEAL Monk demonstrates underwater breathing tech using Hibby's pet rat. The divers descend to the wreck, scanning for radiation and finding the warhead intact. While searching, they discover bodies. Jammer panics after seeing crabs on a corpse, and Virgil calms him before leaving to check another room. Jammer's lights fail, and he loses contact with Virgil. He then sees a glowing creature and damages his gear in terror. Virgil returns to find Jammer convulsing, and the team cuts off his oxygen to save him. The team works together to move Jammer's body, while Lindsay, in a submersible, loses her lights and briefly sees the same strange creature. After the lights return, she's called to pick up the crew. Back on the platform, the SEAL medic confirms that Jammer is in a coma. Virgil suspects the creature was a hallucination from oxygen issues, but Lindsay insists she saw it too. Lindsay reports to her boss, who orders the SEALs to secretly recover the submarine's warhead. Meanwhile, the oil workers see on the news that the Russians are being blamed for the submarine sinking. They realize Coffee and his SEAL team are leaving in a submersible without permission. Ignoring Virgil's warnings about potential dangers, they proceed with the mission. As hurricane approaches, evacuation is impossible while the SEALs are out. The rig begins to slide on the seabed, disrupting the mission and causing a crane to collapse. The falling crane narrowly misses Lisa's submersible, but she manages to escape unharmed. The crane continues to slide after landing next to the underwater platform, pulling it toward a trench. As the platform gets dragged, electrical connections spark, igniting fires, and the drill room begins flooding. More sparks cause explosions, injuring Monk, while Lindsay dons a mask to fight the flames. Meanwhile, Hippie rushes to the drill room with his pet rat, sealing the door. He narrowly saves his rat before the submersible crashes, crushing a worker beneath the water. The platform halts on the edge of the trench, but water bursts in, trapping and drowning several workers as the doors automatically close. Virgil narrowly escapes as the doors close behind him, with the help of two workers who manage to push one door open. The survivors regroup in the main area, where the SEALs tend to Monk's wounds. The oil workers attempt to use the radio, but it fails. Lindsay checks the generator and reveals they only have 12 hours of oxygen left, and with the storm still raging, their chances of rescue are slim. Lindsay, remembering the oxygen tanks and the wrecked module, dons her suit and sets out with Hippie monitoring her via the ROV. She finds the tanks at the trench's edge, but the connection falters, and she loses contact. In the darkness, the strange creature appears again, this time bringing out a glowing object that she touches before it swims away. Back on the platform, the team examines a photo Lindsay took, revealing a pink blur. She asserts the creature is intelligent and possibly alien, sparking excitement among some workers, while Virgil rebukes her for inciting hysteria. Meanwhile, Hippie spies on the SEALs and sees them working on the warhead, prompting Lindsay to confront them, leading to a tense moment where Coffee reveals he has a gun, indicating his growing paranoia. Later, Lindsay discusses using the ROV to gather proof of the creature, unaware that Coffee overhears and formulates a plan. As the crew settles down for the night, the serpent-like creature silently infiltrates the platform, checking on each person. The creature approaches Lindsay, mimicking her facial expressions and then Virgil's face, and when Lindsay touches it, she confirms it's made of seawater. As the creature checks on the warhead, Coffee panics and cuts it in two with a door. The group theorizes that the creature can manipulate water. Meanwhile, Coffee, feeling anxious, sharpens a knife and insists on protecting against an alien threat, assembling a weapon. Hippie sees a soldier attaching the warhead to a ROV to pursue the creature. Coffee stops Hippie from retreating and drags him back, locking the oil workers in the infirmary. After Coffee leaves, Jammer wakes up and frees his friends, but they discover Coffee has jammed the exit door. Virgil and Catfish decide to swim out to find another way, ignoring Lindsay's warnings about the freezing temperatures. Virgil and Catfish find another hatch but struggle to open the next door, leaving Catfish low on air while Virgil swims ahead. Inside, Virgil sees Coffee slowly handling the ROV's chain and attempts a surprise attack, but Coffee hears him and draws his gun, only to find it's unloaded. A fight ensues, with Coffee wielding a knife. They grapple in the water until Catfish arrives and punches Coffee, who jumps into a submersible with the ROV and the warhead attached. Virgil and Catfish try to stop him but fail to open the hatch and need to escape the flooding submersible. Catfish manages to let the others in and uses Monk's gun to shoot at the water, but it doesn't work. Virgil dives into the pool and grabs onto Coffee's submersible just as Coffee releases it. He ties a rope from the submersible to the platform before Coffee crashes it into the platform. As Coffee tries to attack, Lindsay appears in another submersible, crashing into Coffee's, igniting it in flames. While Coffee battles the fire, Virgil jumps into Lindsay's submersible, and they attempt to secure the loose rope from the platform. As they lose the rope attached to the ROV, as Coffee relentlessly attacks them with his submersible, Lindsay cleverly uses rocks to damage Coffee's vehicle, ultimately pushing it over the trench's edge, causing it to plunge into the depths. However, the fight damages Lindsay's submersible, leading to a flood and loss of power. They argue about who should exit, but ultimately Virgil prepares to carry Lindsay out. As they submerge, Lindsay passes out from hypothermia, leaving Virgil to swim to the surface and alert the team. After a desperate attempt, he revives her and they gear up to tackle the warhead. Virgil dons a special suit filled with breathable liquid, adapting to it before diving into the pool. He descends into the trench, ready to confront the wreckage below. As Virgil descends deeper into the trench, he struggles to communicate with the team while his hands shake. Lindsay keeps him calm, but after the ROV's lights explode, he spirals downwards. Using a flare, he confirms he has reached the warhead, and with Monk's guidance, carefully disarms it without triggering an explosion. Celebration turns to panic when they realize Virgil has only 5 minutes of oxygen left. He admits he loves Lindsay, preparing for the worst. Suddenly, the creature reappears, taking him to its glowing underwater city and allowing him to breathe. Meanwhile, the storm above clears, and the ship contacts the team. The alien city emerges beneath the platform, saving the team from decompression sickness. Virgil reunites with Lindsay, calling her his wife before sharing a passionate kiss, marking a new chapter for them in this extraordinary underwater world.